Anglo-American law, it's been around for a long time, and there are some rights and obligations that exist that really aren't used that often, but every once in a while somebody uses them. Well, that takes us to this week's discussion. Alienation of affection. Alienation of affection, it's a term you sometimes hear. Once upon a time, in the law, a married man had various possessions, and among his possessions was his wife. And in some instances, his wife was listed as a piece of property, just as would be real property, land, or would be a barn or a home or something else. Well, if someone took up with a married man's wife, causing her to leave him, he, the married man, had a cause of action against the guy who was responsible for separating him from his wife. It was just like a replevin action or an action for retrieval of stolen property. Well, the law matured and went forward, and pretty soon that alienation of affection right began to exist for both spouses, both husbands and wives. And as that moved forward, the alienation of affection could be brought if, in fact, the husband started a dalliance with somebody else. His wife could bring suit. But most states in the United States brought an end to alienation of affection, either through actual legislation or through case law. But, interestingly enough, there are 7 states in the United States that still recognize the alienation of affection cause of action. And every once in a while, this cause of action does arise. In 2008, there was a rising star in the GOP, Chip Pickering. He was married, and he was slated basically to become the next U.S. Senator from Mississippi, and then he got into some marital problems, wound up with a divorce action, and his wife, Leisha, brought claim against the gal that she said was responsible for alienating his affections, and she sued this other woman. And, well, that case was settled out of court. We don't know what amounts were paid, if anything. Because under an alienation of affection claim, there's no insurance. There's nobody else that's going to pay other than the person who is found responsible. And so generally, alienation of affection claims are only brought when it appears that the person who is supposedly responsible for taking a spouse away from the other spouse, if that person has some amount of money. And there are cases out there, particularly in North Carolina, there are several cases in which over $1 million has been awarded by a jury who found that someone else outside the marriage was responsible for breaking up that marriage. Well, we bring you this so that you understand that, in fact, while the law has been around for a long time, there are some of these antiques that exist in the attic. It's kind of like, well, it's kind of like an old shotgun. A shotgun that still works and can be brought out every once in a while. Hey, we bring you this discussion, we bring discussions every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.